guys, welcome. Today is just going to be an easy day. I'm just going to go over vocabulary with you. And I wanted to let you know, you can always, I think if it was me, I would be putting my videos on 2 times speed. I think it not only helps you learn a second language, but I can tend to talk very slow, so don't worry about putting it on 2 times speed. Also, the captions, I have captions for every single video. Like, I go through and write the script after I post the video, so if you wanted to put the little CC on, it should be accurate. Okay, so let's get into it. I actually wanted to go over, so this is a chameleon, this type of animal, and the thing is that I wanted to go over some vocabulary words that rhyme. So nothing rhymes with chameleon easily. So I figured I would go over some vocabulary words that rhyme with lily pad, with the word pad. And then we can talk a little bit about the episodic anchoring I was speaking about the other day. Let me see if I can get you, let me get a notebook so that we can go over some of these words. But, so this is chameleon, chameleon, even though it starts with the the CH sound. So it's not chameleon, it's chameleon. And for some reason, the way that I remember this word is through that song. Well, what is that song? I think it goes, come, chameleon. So you can kind of remember it through that. Anyways, let me get you some writing paper. So that we can go over some of the vocabulary words. Okay, so we've got chameleon, and that's this animal, chameleon. Okay, and then we've got things like these branches here. Branches. Alright, and then we've got leaves. And I would say like these are the background leaves. And then we've got lily pads. Lily pads. So, the reason why I wanted to go over words that rhyme with pads is because it's sort of a different type of sound. So when you are saying the word, let's see, when you're saying the word bad or sad or mad. I sort of think of this sound kind of like a kind of how a sheep would sound, like how they go bah, right? It's more like a ah, like ah. And it's not really the same as the A in like awkward, right? This is like ah, but this is like ah, ah. So you kind of want to be careful with this. I think what I'll do in some of the next videos is I'll start to bring up the IPA for these, or I might do it in this video, we'll see. And the thing is that to make these sounds, the vowel sounds in English, the positioning of your mouth and your tongue actually is important. So with the word sad, let me see. The thing is that my neck goes a little bit backwards. Like my chin goes a little bit down and back towards, like towards my back. So it's like ah. And it's a little bit like you're choking almost, but it would be, so in comparison, so like awkward, so the A in awkward is like ah, that's like your mouth is like really wide open, and so yeah, I wanted to go over those types of sounds because I think that's like really important, because you don't want to say mod or bod, like, well, at least if you're learning American accent. This is not for British accents. So, yeah, okay. Anyways, I just wanted to go over those vocabulary words for you because I know that a lot of people struggle with the way that English words are pronounced, and it's very difficult sometimes to learn why something's pronounced a certain way versus another way. And we can get more into that as well in future videos. So I wanted to talk about the episodic anchoring that I was talking about the other day. I wanted to clarify. The episodic anchoring is when you match like an image or an experience to, like a personal experience, to a word. And it's a helpful way to not have to memorize over and over again. So I found that very helpful. The other thing that I was talking about, when you take that word and expand it to a more like universal or worldly context, or like if you expand it to what it represents to a lot of people, or even to a lot of people in a specific culture, then that would be called semantic encoding. So I just wanted to kind of, give you the basic terminology for that. Not that it really matters, but now you know. So there's other vocabulary words here too as well. So like right now I'm coloring in the chameleon's skin, so like piel. And, you know, you can talk about he has like little hands or paws. You can go over all the body, like eyes and mouth, nose. But there's also like deeper vocabulary, right, that you can start to do once you get past the surface. Like I was saying before, like branches, this is like also tree bark, or you know, like you can talk about the stem of a flower or a leaf. And of course you can get more technical if you wanted to do that. If you needed like the science vocabulary as well. But the cool thing about chameleons is that they change color when they are on different colored objects and want to blend in with the environment. So, you know, you can think about things like that as well, like what does not only what does the image show, but what are the types of things that the people or animals or things would do in the scenario. What kind of functions do they have, or do they serve, or what do they do, that type of thing. So a chameleon camouflages, and that's kind of a complicated word as well. Camouflage, because it has like the spelling is weird, you know. So the other thing you can think about, like how the trees are in this image, you can think about how trees, we say that they sway in the wind. So you could say, you know, the trees sway in the wind, or like lily pads rest in the water, or they grow in the water. So you want to kind of use these image prompts to not only name the nouns, like, yeah, sure, they have eyes and a mouth, but what do they do, right? So what do the objects or people or animals do in, like, as a verb in the actual image. So the chameleon, you could say they either hide or they camouflage, things like that. The trees sway. It looks like this branch might break if he's too heavy. Alright, I think that's all I have for you guys today. I hope that this helped, and just continue practicing those types of words that have I call it the sheep sound, like the ah, like bad or sad, but really you just need to find something that will help you remember the sound. You don't have to use the sheep sound. Alright, I hope this helps. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. Ciao ciao.